Hey there, Matt for Public Whitetail, and thanks for coming to see another episode. I'm still overwhelmed with everything we saw at the 2020 Great American Outdoor Show today in Harrisburg, PA. Me and the guys, Taylor and Zach, got to go out and really check out a ton of great gear, great ideas, some things we hadn't even thought of, other things we just wanted to see. And we wanted to do some more live streaming. So, however, we started running into a lot of different people that were able to answer a lot of the questions. I actually got to field some guys as far as questions for saddle harness hunting. And I tell you what, I was just blown away. I actually got to hold in my hands the actual product, get to see it, talk to the rep from the company. From one of the companies, and we'll be getting into that later on in another episode. But today, I did want to get to a video. One thing I did want to get this year, I wanted to upgrade my quiver. Now, there's 100 different arguments on how many arrows you should take into the field with you. Everybody looks at the guys on TV, and they also see their fellow hunters, they see their friends. Some guys carry 2 or 3 arrows. I've been known to carry as little as 2 or 3 arrows on a short hunt. Other days, maybe if you're out for a long sit or doing a good bit of traveling, you might take several arrows with you. And to have the quiver, to have that option, that's what I wanted to do. So I went back to a company that I did some work with last year. Not everybody knows about them, and they're called Kinex. That's K-I-N-E-X. For when you search it online after this. And they got some fantastic ideas on a lot of different products. They're slowly getting things into production. However, the stuff that they have is just bulletproof. I got a 5-pin sight from them last year. It's aluminum CNC milled for a fantastic show price, but not the only reason, the quality of the product. And so knowing that, they were definitely one of the people I wanted to see about this next idea, and that's going with a quiver. And this is the RAC 5 arrow quiver, and RAC 5 standing for 5 arrows. So inside your package, you get your bracket, which will connect to your sight. Has 2 places to connect your arrows with as part of your quiver. These are very flexible, but not too firm. Not like brand new rubber or brand new nylon, some type of other space age material where it just doesn't bend. You know, so there's definitely some flex here, which I like. There's also a foam chunk that goes inside here, but it's removable, so you can go the option of going with foam or without, especially if you run mechanicals like some people do. So that being said, I did get a hold of one. That was my one big buy of the day that I wanted to let everybody know about. We're going to go ahead and install this thing. The only thing you'll actually need, and the bolts come out, I already pulled them out and set them on the package next to my bow. And you will need I believe it's an 1/8" Allen wrench. So with that, we'll be able to remove our old quiver, and we'll get this one put on, sized up, straightened out, and test her out, and we'll see what we got. Okay, let's go do it. Okay, moving forward, we have our bow set up in front of us. In front of you, what you can see is the stock quiver that my bow came with, and that's the Fuse Archery Arrow Quiver. They work with Hoyt on a lot of their different products. They're stock. There's nothing wrong with it. However, up here, I saw that my foam was getting really busted up a lot of times, taking arrows in and out of the quiver. So I wanted to upgrade. I wanted to go to the Kinex. I wanted something with a removable foam and something that was just a little bit longer, to tell you the truth. It is nice. It is lightweight. I can't say too many terrible things about it, really. There is some adjustability. You can move it up and down the bow how you want it. And the removal of the quiver, just like that. One knob, and you're done. The Kinex system will have a very similar setup with this as far as just a dial. You'll see in a moment once I get it set up that all it is a turn off here and slide it right off. There was a hook on both, so you can hook it to your tree, attach it to your tree stand, off your harness if you're doing saddle climbing, whatever you want to do. But like I said, I just wanted something a little bit bigger. However, the rods in the Kinex do appear to be a carbon, so just as light, if not lighter than this quiver right here. So first thing you want to do is get your proper Allen wrench and drop it in. Now I did break these bolts off right before I turned the camera on, and it was a sickening snap. I was almost scared I broke a bolt a little bit ago, so I was definitely really tense there for a minute before I turned that camera on the rest of the way. Now if you've never used one of these before, you want to make sure that you keep your bolts for your quiver. I actually got a second set of bolts when I got my Kinex Systems sight last year, so I actually will now have 2 sets of the same bolts. And we'll pull out this other screw, and we'll lift as we turn so we don't just keep spinning the screw or the hex bolt around. So there we go, there's your quiver, and we'll set it over here. We'll go ahead and quietly, not so quietly, break the quiver out of its plastic, and I'll show you what we got compared to our old fuse quiver. Now some people may like this and some people may not, and I just dropped both my bolts on my desk, so apologize for that. There is a size difference. Now I'm telling you right now, with this chunk of aluminum here that's holding this quiver to my sight, there is already a weight difference. So just by going with the plastic light components and the carbon rods here, everything's looking pretty solid. Still flexible, still moves a little bit, which is fine. That gives us a little bit of freedom as far as movement, if we bang it into trees, anything like that. I've gone ahead and I've pulled the foam out, and you'll see inside of there, I don't know if you can, and I just banged the camera, I don't know if you can, but there are 5 divots in the top there, and I hit the camera again. This gives me a little more flexibility. If you remember, my dirt nap broadheads are a little bit wider in the blade, so sometimes depending on the way they're sitting in there, it may give me some clearance issues, and it did with the foam this year. Basically what we want to do is, first we're going to test fit like we always do for everything. As you can see, my rear quiver, or bottom part of my quiver here, falls on the actuator of my rest. So if I want to do my rest, that is in the way. So this is easily fixable right off the bat. However, what it does do, and I won't be able to do it here very well because it's all angle, this piece will slide up and down this rail. So what I was able to do is slide this down so the bottom part of my quiver is still below my actuator on my rest. Now in addition, I also double check to make sure my arrows will clear this rest, and they will. So we'll move on, and I'll try and do this single-handedly without dropping a bolt, if I can do it all in one take. And if I'm lucky, I might just pull it off, because I don't want to move this quiver around too much, and I'm not going to go hunting for bolts everywhere. So back to our Allen wrench that we had before, and we'll slowly start our hex bolt into the hole, making sure that we don't cross thread. especially with these fine threaded bolts. It's very important to make sure that you go slowly at first. And we twist this one out as well. I'm going to have to move, there we go. Found it. Slowly, slowly, slowly at first. And we'll just do a slight tighten there. Okay, we'll check for fitment. Nothing's in the way. And that is not in the way of our draw cycle. So we're good to go so far right there. We'll give us another tighten. I'm just doing fantastic with my vocabulary today. We'll tighten this down again. I think I'm still a little tired from my walk before through the show. And we don't want to go too crazy, but we do want to make sure it's secure. We're not dealing with a metal bracket here. We just want to get it snug, and then we know we're good. Now here's the other cool thing about this. All it takes to pull this off is a simple twist of the knob, and there we go. First time it's a little snug, I'm sure. Brand new parts and all. And then when you put it back in, just tighten that down and you're good. So there it is, the installation, and we'll close this one out. But before I do want to let you know I ended up grabbing an extra bracket. The cool part about this is I'll be able to attach this to a piece of gear, tree stand, limb, or a climbing stick, and I'll be able to use this up on the tree. So that was a cool feature that they offered and gave me an extra one for later. And here is my one little piece of removable foam. While I'm testing this quiver next time, I'm going to go ahead and leave this out because I want to see how this shoots with the quiver on, and then of course I'll shoot probably most of the time without the quiver being on. So there it is, the installation of the Kinex Systems RAC 5 quiver. And I must say, got it on, got some arrows installed, brand new Easton 6.5s with the 4-inch fletching. Don't want to move her around too much so you can enjoy the picture here. But real proud of these things, and this Kinex System quiver I think is going to fit right into my setup, and we'll be ready to go for this hunting season. So, till then, stay safe, stay legal, stay hydrated.